and he's going to talk to you guys about academic achievement, the myth of genius, and whatever else he has to say. Give it to you guys.
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? ¿Ya? ¿Cuántas personas hablan español aquí? Ok, soy brasilero y puertorriqueño. Nací en Connecticut y ahora vivo en Los Ángeles. He estado aquí por 2 años y medio. I want to talk to you guys about something called the myth of genius. A myth is nothing more than a story, right? It's something that we've all read, that we hear about. There's 2 different types of myths that exist. There's good myths, right? And then there's bad ones. How about the idea that chicken soup is good for your health? Like if you get sick, you have chicken soup, it's good. Has anyone ever heard that? All right, by hand. Okay, so that's something you're more familiar with. Okay, so that's what I would consider a good myth. There's no harm in you having your chicken soup and thinking that it's going to be good for you, that it's going to make you better. In fact, it may actually make you better just by the fact that you're believing that it'll make you better. Because belief is a very powerful thing. So now take that power of belief, right? And consider a myth like this. The older you get, the more difficult it is to learn a language. I argue that that is a myth. And I argue that those type of myths, if you believe in them, can be bad for you. Okay, so the myth of genius is the same thing. We have this story about, who can give me some ideas of people who we think are geniuses? Albert Einstein's one. What about artists or musicians? Anybody have any rappers that think are geniuses? Huh? Picasso? Leonardo da Vinci? Frida Kahlo. Okay, great. Some great options. We have a scientist and several artists, and I'm sure we could go on into the world of sports. Maybe LeBron James is a genius on the court, right? No? Kobe. Okay, let's stay local. So maybe Kobe is a genius on the court, right? Most people tend to think, though, that a genius is what? We think that they're born with this talent, right? We agree? Okay. So I'm not going to actually tell you that that's not true. What I'm going to say is not true is when we say they are born with it, and you guys, am not born with it. Okay, that talent is like this big giant body of water. Anybody can go there and draw from it. It's as deep as anything. The only difference is these people know they have access to it, and for some reason some of us don't. And I think that reason is because we believe in the story of the genius, which is they have what I don't have. Okay, and that becomes an excuse. Who here knows who Bill Gates is? Bill Gates, you guys familiar with Bill Gates? Okay, Bill Gates is the founder of Microsoft, right? He discovered, quote-unquote, discovered computer programming. His story is that when he was in high school, he was a freshman in high school, and this is 1967, and his school just happened to have one of the first computers that ever existed. Just happened to have it. He didn't put it there or anything like that. Now his whole class went into that computer room, and the teacher started talking about, well, this is the computer we have, and we have to do this, and what do you think half the kids did? They looked at their watches, they were thinking about recess, they were thinking about lunch. Now, Bill Gates, on the other hand, did something different. He didn't go in there as a genius, as a natural-born genius, and say, hey, I know how this software works. I know everything about computers. He went in there as something that we all are, and I hope that we continue to be for the rest of our lives, and that is a student. He went in there with an open mind. He said, he allowed himself to be fascinated by something, and he just did it because he loved it, and it intrigued him. It kept his interest. So that's what I want to leave with you guys today, that really what we have, maybe what we thought of as the genius is really nothing more than the student, which puts you guys at a great opportunity. You guys have teachers, you guys have all this information they're giving you, you live in an age of technology and information. Treat that stuff like Legos, okay? Build your kingdom. whatever it is you want it to be. That you have that power to do that, and I just want to encourage you to look at it that way. That's about all I have to say for today. Thank you very much.